We here at the Busy Doing Nothing podcast recording. This is week 6. You know, we out here just, trying to be, what would Christian say, yo? Young, black, and successful, yo.
Oh my God, yeah.
Good health,
Christian.
good wealth, yo. My man in Vegas right now, living it up.
Man.
Living it up.
He here in spirit, though.
Go ahead and take this, take this shot. This is the Busy Doing Nothing podcast where you are right in the middle of the conversation. I am your host, Mr. Freemans. To my left, I have...
Heavy, J Heavy.
Lido Bands.
Taylor, a.k.a. Doc.
And, yeah, you're right in the middle of the conversation. As always, how was everybody's week? What y'all get into?
What did I do this week? I've been at work.
Use this cup for the...
I just worked this week, for real. I don't think I really did anything.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, it was 420,
Oh, I didn't.
Speaking of
partake.
420, my grandfather took my car to go get it maintenance. I had my fucking weed in my car, in my gas tank. He went to get gas and found that shit, and it was fucking tragic. He was fucking sad. I'm pretty sure he ended up smoking that shit, but he was fucking sad, and I was sad because he was sad, and it was crazy. But yeah. I don't know if he smoked it or not, but either way, it was like a whole baby and that shit.
Dang.
Why was he sad?
I couldn't smoke. Huh?
He didn't know you smoked.
He didn't know I smoked. It's my grandfather. You know, the old school people. Even if he did that shit back in the day, he doesn't want his granddaughter to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, my family's real uppity and crazy like that. So.
Well, for me, my mother, she walked in my room or whatever because I apparently just finished smoking some weed. And she walked in my room and she's just like, smells like 420 in here. You know what 420 is? And I was just like, yes, I do know what 420 is. And she was like, yeah, is that what it smells like? I said, yes, that is what it smells like. 420 smells like that. You need to wash your clothes again because I can smell it. So I was just like, oh.
They were supposed to be having a little festival out in D.C. I know you wanted to go.
I wanted to go. It was fucking raining and shit, but they had something on 420. They had something Thursday.
Oh, for real?
And I know a couple people that went, they said it was cool, but...
It was like an edible festival, right?
It was all weekend long, from Thursday all the way till tomorrow.
Yeah, they got another one tomorrow, an edible thing.
I missed out on that. It's tickets. They were $25. I was like, damn, that shit got sold out early.
$25 and you still got to pay for each edible?
Yeah. You probably
do.
Oh,
you probably gotta get in.
That's how they make their money.
Yeah. That's true.
They had one today with National Cannabis Festival, and that was $35 to get in that one. Yeah,
and if they're both cheap though, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'll spend that. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Cause it's probably something in there that you get that's either cheaper or for free.
Yeah, it's
so
probably
something
discounted.
that comes with that.
Yeah,
35.
Whatever y'all get.
But the VIP tickets was $255 for real.
What's VIP about it? What do you do?
I don't know.
Ride you around on a bike or something?
I think it was just I think they give you invitations to future events. You'll get invitations to, I don't know, guys, future weed events and concerts and stuff like that. Because now they're trying to do partnerships with artists and stuff now.
Because in DC, weed is completely legal now, right? Or is it just
recreational? Recreational weed. And they can grow it too, I think, in DC.
Yeah, I knew that, yeah.
So, yeah.
They're having someone told me something about they're having classes on how to do stuff like that, how to grow your own weed and business classes.
Dispensaries, starting your own dispensary and everything. Yeah, they do have classes.
That shit's dope. That's right up my alley. I'm trying to move to Colorado and just with some fine black man and just open up some type of dispensary.
You give it enough time, you want to move anyway. It's gonna be anyway to do it. But I wanted to start this episode off talking about the dude from Cleveland who allegedly shot the old man. And
Steve Stevens.
Steve Stevens is his name. That don't even sound like a real name though.
No.
You was destined for failure with a name like Steve Stevens.
Real shit.
But
Steve Stevens.
I have mixed emotions about it because, all right. So I'm on the fence between it looked a little weird to me, the whole video, and being completely sympathetic. So it's the way the video was recorded and just thinking about it, he was standing in like point blank range in front of this man with a gun. If you shoot somebody that close with a gun, the blood is going to come toward, like it's gonna spatter. Like it would have got on him, it would have got on the camera.
I seen that thing on Twitter where like someone was like, someone explained this to me, like if you're so close to someone, the blood would have splattered.
Didn't
like,
it
make it seem fake, but like
I thought it was.
When I
but
saw
they
it,
had it like all over the news and stuff.
Right.
They're not gonna have that all over the whatever if it was like fake. His family's not about to come out and be fucking hurt and sad if it was something fake. I don't
Y'all think the
feel.
government was in on it?
I don't know. I don't like saying certain stuff like, oh, it's conspiracy theory. You know, some people, I mean, they just be
sometimes
like.
I do, but like I really just feel like this is really just like an emotional ass nigga who couldn't control his fucking emotions and he just went the fuck off, and that's not uncommon. Like,
but I think
that happens
they could
a
have
lot.
caught Joe before they did.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the other side of me is like that's really like crazy for that. If my first thing is wrong, then I'm like, that's really crazy because like you gotta think about it. That man was in his 70s, so it's like the average black man in this country not even expected to live past what 50 something, and that man was able to exceed that, living his 70s as a grown man, you know, a fully grown adult, and then to have his life taken from him is tragic.
He was only killing
He was coming
people,
from the store though, like that's the whole thing. Had the grocery bag in his hand and everything, walking down the street, and you just hear Steve Stevens just rolling down the street in his car. I'm looking for somebody to kill. I'm looking for somebody to kill. Like, what type of crap is that?
And my level of sympathy, people like to say, oh, the man was mentally ill.
No.
My level of sympathy completely goes out the window once your mental illness starts affecting other people's physical health. Like, he killing people. Like, at that point, I don't care how crazy you are. It's time to go.
It's not even a mental illness. That's he's not getting his way with his girl.
Right.
And he feels like the need to, like, bring other people into it so that she's going to come back to him or have sympathy for him or whatever. And it's like, leave your relationship where you leave that at. Like, people love to bring that shit everywhere. Into work, into other friendships. Like, people be angry with you because they're angry with their significant other. Like, you need to learn how to leave that where that is and, like, cope with it and deal with it. And still be able to focus on, like, your life and your job and your other friends and, like, other things that go on. Like, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that should, like, run your life.
Yeah,
and it's just very crazy. Like, this is an old man. He's a family, too.
Right.
People love and care about him, and you took his life because your girl moved on. Like, that's
One thing
silly.
that makes me upset is people that don't know how to channel their frustrations. It's like, if something doesn't have anything to do with what you're mad at, fix your attitude. Like,
he needed somebody to listen to him, like, honestly, because he was blaming his girl and he
blamed
blamed his
everybody but
mother.
himself.
Yeah, he blamed his mother because he was just like, she didn't listen to him when he needed to be listened to or whatever. But it was just like, you blaming everybody but yourself because you nobody told you to go kill that man. You decided to do that on your own.
And then
Because nobody wasn't listening to you.
But for what? Like,
and
because you can't be with your girl? Like, that's the weirdest thing to me. Like,
that's the weakest thing.
People make crazy decisions over, like, other human beings. Like, I get you love somebody, you care about somebody, whatever, but, like, think shit happens. You know, you gotta pick yourself up and move on.
And my thing is, if you're gonna get to the point where you ready to kill yourself, and you're gonna kill yourself, start with yourself. Like, if you depressed to the point where you want to kill yourself, but then before you kill yourself, you want to kill other people.
But that's awful too. You have a family.
You're gonna kill all of them.
But my thing is, I'd rather you take your issue into your own hands than create an entirely different issue for somebody who's completely unrelated to the issue at hand. Like, just start with yourself and save everybody else the heartache.
That's what cowards do, though. They want to take it out on other people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's
a cowardly move.
Like, would he think that he wasn't going to get caught or something? Because, like, he immediately went on that run, and then he was on, like, they had a warrant out for him in a couple of states and stuff like that. He must have thought he just wasn't never going to get caught.
That's the other thing that kind of threw me about that whole thing, too. Like, they had a manhunt out for this man. They was able to track that he was going into all of these different states, and then but you telling me he was able to get from Cleveland to Pennsylvania, not one toll, not one gas stop, not one nothing. And then he got from Cleveland to Pennsylvania in a time frame that it doesn't, you can't get from Cleveland to Pennsylvania that fast. Like, what type of vehicle do you have? Yo, like,
I get pulled over all the time and not even doing nothing. We like, what the fuck? Yo, it was a black.
Right, he was looking like Suge Knight.
Right.
Little brother.
But I think some people though, they, you know, the internet is just crazy. Like, it's so insensitive to certain things. You know, people was making fake pages for them, and they was doing all these fake messages. Like, I'm in Baltimore now. Some people get ready to get killed or something. So
it's like sometimes I don't feel like people like crazy tragic things happen, and people like love to try and like turn everything around and make it funny all the time.
All the
and
time,
it's like
sometimes
that's not appropriate. And it's like, do you like, you don't have feelings for the family? They don't think that any of that shit is funny. Like,
exactly.
they're dealing with a loss, and like no one's sensitive to the fact that like people are grieving. Yeah. People are having a hard time. So like, yes, it's funny. Yes, you're gonna get retweets. Yes, people LOL whatever. But like, it's not really funny because someone's life is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about the female that's involved. Like, she probably feels horrible.
Has she
probably feels like
she did.
That it's her fault, and it's not. And it's just awful. Like, there's all these people involved, and like people only think about the funny.
I think she came out after it was announced that he was dead though. Like, she didn't want her name to be mentioned for a while. She didn't want nobody to see her face or whatever for her safety. But when they announced that he was dead, that's when she finally came out and had apologized to the elderly man's family for what happened.
And that's awful. Like, if anyone should be apologizing, it should be him, but he's dead, so he can't. And it's just like, you've now put everything off that you've done on her. And it's like, niggas do it all the time. Like, guys love to do that, and it's like, now you've killed yourself and you've been a coward because you can't own up to your responsibilities and what you've done, and now I'm gonna kill myself and leave everything on her. Now she has to apologize, she has to feel bad, she has to be guilty, all the things that he should feel, but he's not because he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Chasing
awful.
that check instead of chasing
like,
shorty, like, yo, geeking. Future said
it. Exactly. But I mean, I don't know, because I feel like, I mean, him I have no sympathy for, but I feel like suicide is definitely, it's definitely tragic. Like, it's something that you should feel sorry for, but in certain circumstances, you just can't. Like, I know they got like a Netflix show out about something like, what was it, 13 Reasons Why or something? I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, but it's a new show. It just got on Netflix or whatever.
It's
but
supposed to be about somebody killing themselves.
Look at it like, if you kill yourself in a context like that, that's just like the death penalty. So he got what he was deserved. You feel me?
But he might not have got the death penalty. They was probably going to let him, put him in jail for the rest.
I say he should get the death penalty because you killed multiple people. You don't got no sympathy for anybody else.
All them other people he said he killed, they never found
him. Like,
so it's like, is that actually true?
I don't know if it's true. We actually have proof of him killing that elderly man.
Right.
But like, it was no other stories really. Like, they just focused on that old man for real.
Mm-hmm.
That shit made me have a heart to heart and treat like random people with more respect, because I'm like, yo, this nigga was fucked up in their head. So who's to say that it's more people just like that, because his mental shit was not diagnosed. You feel me? He was just running around the streets, had a regular job, crazy as shit whole time. Crazy, goofy.
It's because people don't really like. Mental health in the black community, people don't take seriously, and like, he had issues, and if somebody that really knew him, they should have known that he had problems for a while, like, and they should have said something to him about trying to go talk to somebody or whatever. But because in the black community, it's like kind of frowned upon to suggest people to go talk to someone else. It just probably was never brought up to him, and I feel like we just need to get more comfortable with going to a therapist if we need to go to a therapist, and it don't have to be a one-on-one session. It can be a group session for real, so you won't be alone or whatever. But like, and
that shouldn't be considered weird. Like,
it shouldn't.
People like, you know what I'm saying, from the time you grow up until you get into adulthood, like, crazy things can happen to you, and like, it doesn't always necessarily mean that you have people. Just because you have friends, just because you have family, doesn't mean that you're comfortable expressing all your feelings to them or talking to them or whatever. So you should feel like celebrities have therapists. Nobody thinks that that's weird. They talk to people all day long. Like, they have weird lives. They got crazy things going on.
They
so
need
it's just
therapists.
like,
it's actually normal to have a therapist. When you got that bag. People really have therapists. They talk to you every day.
I personally, I mean, I don't discourage therapists and stuff like that. I couldn't see myself ever having to go to one.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I don't know, maybe I feel like I'm better at, channeling my energies differently, so I don't need to talk to somebody about my stuff. But I think that if you don't know how to handle your emotions correctly, then yeah, you need an outlet. Like everybody needs an outlet, even if.
He probably frowned upon it though, because he probably like maybe somebody suggested it to him and was just like, "Yo, you need to go see a therapist," and he was just like, "It's not no problem with me."
And that's the thing. People get really hostile when you try to offer help and offer suggestions like that. They automatically put up like a block, and they're like, "Oh, so you're trying to tell me I have a problem?"
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm just telling. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you from a perspective where I know you, and I see that your behavior has changed, and I feel like maybe you should talk to someone about it. Maybe. Whatever, and like people get so defensive. They don't want help. They don't want anyone to tell them what to do, what they need to do, and like sometimes you need to take that advice from the people that love you and see you on a normal basis and see that something's wrong.
But I don't know. I feel like if somebody is caring enough to the point where they want that person to go talk to someone, I feel like the first step should be them trying to talk to that person themselves rather than say, look, you got some issues. Go talk to a random person over there. I don't want to hear it. So
sometimes
it's like,
you don't know how to like. Sometimes people have all crazy things going on in their head, and like I could lay some things on you right now, you might not be able to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like depending on what's going on in someone's mind, them talking to you and them saying whatever could freak you out. It could scare you.
You could say the wrong thing,
and then like
too.
you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you could hit that button, and then them just fly off the handle.
Right.
Sometimes I think it's better for like you to talk to someone that doesn't even know you, doesn't know anything about you, and you can just feel free to like express yourself. Yeah.
Right.
They won't have no judgments because they paid to listen to you, honestly, and they're not gonna have no judgment. They can't talk to nobody about your case or nothing.
But the crazy thing is, I've heard that it be the psychiatrists and stuff like that, they be kind of crazy too on the low because they gotta. Because the way I look at it is that energy is energy, and all they doing is absorbing all of your negative energy, and they gotta figure out how to do with it. That. Yeah, how to deal with it on their own. So psychiatrists be going crazy too, because he worked at a mental thing too.
And that probably is why he's crazy.
Right.
He probably listens. He probably listens to other people. That's like working at Shepherd Pratt.
Yeah, he probably was crazy, but he worked at a mental facility. So I feel like that could have, and also
men shouldn't be that emotional. You feel me?
I guess.
In my opinion, like
I don't think it's nothing.
You're supposed to just let that shit roll. You feel me? Like.
But if you've been through a lot, there's certain things that like if you've been through, and it doesn't have anything like you can't help it. Like you can't help your emotions. You can't help how you feel. So like.
You shouldn't be emotional to the point where you ready to start killing people.
Yeah.
No, but if you do, get help.
Yeah.
And you cannot tell someone that, you know what I'm saying, his feelings still aren't like, they shouldn't be denied, that he felt that way and like he did wrong, but it was awful. I didn't even try to,
it tastes like it tastes like if you like crunched up a Flintstone vitamin. You never had the Flintstone? You never had the... I know you had the...
I had it.
Everybody
I had like the gummy ones.
No,
the
no, the hard ones.
The hard ones are terrible.
So I like them bitches.
True. That's what it tastes like.
I like the gummies better, but the hard ones were real terrible.
And they was dry, like they was real. They left all that chalky.
Yeah, I was like it was powdery and everything.
Had to get some juice after the vitamins.
Yeah, they cotton mouth like crazy, yo. But on the note of suicide, then we got.
It smells awful.
Then we got whoever sold you that, yo, they lied to you.
Yeah. I want to take this shit back.
They was just trying to get that. They was trying to get that sale. But with all that, then we got Aaron Hernandez who killed himself.
Who was another person that killed himself.
Yeah. Now my thing with Aaron Hernandez is, from what I was following, it sounded like a lot of the charges that he was in there for, he was about to get acquitted for. But that's my one half of that. The other half of that, if he actually did partake or was involved in, those people who was murdered, then again, I can't really have too much sympathy for him because it's like you living out your demons, deal with it.
And why else would you kill yourself?
Well,
if you know that you didn't do it,
I read.
You know that there's a possible situation for you to be able to maybe get out of it. Like, why are you going to kill yourself?
I read that. He had a fiance.
No, I'm saying then he had life in
jail.
life
in prison. Yeah.
I read that something with the law in where was he at? Connecticut, something like that. Wherever he was at. Massachusetts. His NFL contract, which was worth $15 million, would have been voided had he been convicted. If they closed the case.
They closed it.
If him killing himself while that case is still open, the NFL is still obligated to pay his family that $15 million.
Yeah, I read something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know how true that is.
So his family's getting the money now.
Yeah. And then I guess maybe he knew deep down he was going to lose that case. So he went ahead and did that to ensure that his family could get the rest of that money, which I kind of had mixed feelings about that too. But you know,
I can't see nobody that big hanging themselves from a jail. That nigga was big as
yeah,
big as shit.
He was like 6'3".
Yeah, how you gonna hang yourself? I feel like it was.
But it's like, if you really
job.
think about it, like none of us have ever been to jail, and if you've never been to jail, you don't know like how that actually is. So it's like you could put on the front for a little while, but like after a while, and in the back of your mind, every day you know like it doesn't matter because I'm not getting out. I'm in here
for life
for the rest of my
if you
life.
know you got 15 M's and you know you in for life, I think it was like on some shit. Kill me, I'm gonna break you off, and make sure my family's straight too. My family gonna be straight, but I'm gonna break you off too.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm thinking. If that
himself.
was the truth, then I can't necessarily say I understand why he did it, but I see the motive behind it. If the motive was to make sure his family was well off, because if the case would got closed and he was found guilty, all that money is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So
if I had 15 M's and the nigga said, all right, I'm in jail, my family gonna get all the money, but the only way they can get the money is if, you know, if I die or something, shit, fuck it, I'm gone.
I mean, that's one
the
way to
money
look at
going
it.
to his daughter for real.
Yeah,
He
it's going to
wasn't
his daughter and
married.
I think the fiance.
Was he? Like,
I mean, the girl is only
married.
4 or something like that, so pretty much it's going to the
It's
mother.
going. Oh yeah, it's pretty much, it's pretty much going to the mother.
Yeah. But
And then that's the thing. It's just like, how is she gonna use that? You don't necessarily.
Yeah, you don't even know.
She's
Yeah.
gonna use that all for her, like that she's gonna even see it because she's just 4.
Yeah.
right.
That money's gonna get to their household before that girl is old enough to be able to say and do whatever she feels that she wants to do with the money, and might be gone by that
I
time.
would
Like you
assume,
don't even know.
hopefully,
Like,
if the mother has to make the decision,
Yeah, I
she
would
can make
assume
the
that,
right
but it's
decision
just like-
to make sure
that's the same as like
straight.
child support and you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, getting money. You're giving that money to the parent. You don't know what that parent is using that money
Exactly.
for. Exactly.
It's just I don't know.
Like plot twister, what if he was fighting for his life in that bitch or something, you feel
Could have
me?
been, because I mean, they say he was involved in a bunch of gangs. He could have been in there
Yeah.
dealing with rival gang members inside the
Yeah.
prison and all types of stuff. So I mean, it's a real like gray area when it comes to all of that, because you don't. I mean, but I heard that they also they sent his body to a college for research to see like that football related with CTE. They would check his brain to make sure he didn't have like CTE, that concussion thing that they was doing with the NFL. So they donated his body to science there to see if anything.
Did they find anything out yet? Because I know that
I
recently
don't think so.
happened.
They just did that.
That recently.
But
But
I
I know
don't
that
even
the
think- I don't-
autopsy ruled it as a suicide, though. They
Mhm.
had the autopsy and they ruled it as a suicide. So it's not, might not have it. He probably didn't do it. They ruled it as, based off of his autopsy, it was a suicide. He hung himself. There was no
Right.
other way he died.
But that wouldn't have anything to do with the CTE, because they can only check that after you've already died.
Mhm.
So no matter how he died, that's the only way they can check it. But I don't know. I don't even think he couldn't even have been in the league that long, except for that many
Right. He was
concussions
like-
to
he
actually
wasn't
have
even
the
in
long
there
term
that
effects
long.
of CTE. Because usually that happens for people who play a full career in the NFL, took a lot of headshots, and was concussed a lot. I don't even think he was.
Why would they conduct that test now? Yo hasn't been in the league for years, right?
Well, you can only do it after you die.
Oh,
So, yeah.
all right.
I mean, but if he's been playing football his whole life, we don't know how many concussions he had in his life.
True.
So
That's
he
true.
could have had concussions in high school, middle school, all of that. So
I mean, but they said he was wild since he was young anyway, though. So
he could have had concussions from not even just football.
true.
Like you
Fighting
never
something
know.
like
Like
that,
yeah,
you know?
for fighting,
That is true.
you never know. So
Mm-hmm.
they just trying to see if he's hard in the brain.
He was dumb. He was dumb. Have all that bread and to even be involved in that.
That's the one thing I can't respect about the whole situation. Like, people who usually are in the hood because they don't have the choice. So it's like, you got millions of dollars, you got your way out. Stay out the hood. You got people there that probably still got love for you and everything.
Yeah.
But if it's really that much love, bring them out the hood to wherever you at. Don't go all the way. Don't go all the way into into the neck of all of that, and then try to still be living the life like you not a multi-millionaire.
Right.
He
So
tried
it's
to make it
like
seem like he had no way out.
can't be in the
he was
field.
already
NFL
out.
was his way out.
He was already
in
out.
the field and playing on the field. You can't do both. You feel me?
Right.
For the Patriots too,
Yeah.
like that's got to be one of the most like well, not upstanding, they be cheating, but like upstanding in terms of like making sure that their actual system is correct.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Like,
conservative too, very
Yeah,
conservative.
well, probably.
Kind of, sort of.
So it's like he was in the best situation for somebody who to have come from the hood to be in. Like, I mean, I don't know. I never understood the logic behind that either. It's just like
Sometimes, like I was saying before, it's like if you never had something like that and you get into a position of like power and you get into a position of like a lot of money, people spiral out of control. They don't know how to control that. You can get anything that you want. You can get any type of drug that you want. You can have any bitch
That's
that
true.
you want. You can do anything that you want, and you have all this money. You could pay off whoever to keep it quiet if you want. So it's just like when you, like, we don't even know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we say what we say because we live a normal life. Like tomorrow, if we come up on a whole bunch of money, yes, we're going to say, I would save it. I would put this here. I would buy a house. I would give some to my family. But you know what I'm saying? You tomorrow come outside and you have all this money in your bank account. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know, like, what you're going to spend it on. Again, we can say it now because we don't have it.
Yeah.
When you have it, you know what I'm saying?
Totally
And it's
different.
in your possession and you can buy whatever you want. Cars, clothes, jewelry. You can, you know what I'm saying? Female, like whatever. It's just like, I feel like it's a different type of thing that like we don't realize because we don't have it and we don't know.
Right. I feel like money will either completely change you or make you into a bigger version of what you were to begin with. So it's like if you was I mean, say for example, if you drink, now from drinking, I don't know, bottom shelf, now you drinking top shelf everything because you can afford it. If you used to, you know what I mean, I don't know, smoke weed, but you want to explore other drugs. Now you got Coke and whatever else because you can afford it.
Too, though, because some people may only afford a bottle. Now they
Right.
got bread,
Now you
they
got
can
a
afford
whole-
Coke, they
right.
can afford.
Yeah.
Now,
Anything.
So it's like it's
poor
either
man's
going to
drug.
change you or it's going to make you a bigger whatever you were before you started. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I don't think money would change me. I mean, I think my current self with more money would be cool. I would hope. I don't think I would
But
fall
that's
out
the
of
thing.
it.
Also, like, I mean, it's not like you don't have it bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's
I
how
wouldn't
I
be
feel.
lost. Some
That's
people
how I
they get a
feel.
lot of
It's
money
like,
and they get lost.
I didn't come from like poor. I didn't come from like in the slums. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up like that. So it's like if I come into some money, like it'll excite me, but like I'm not gonna be like, oh my, you know what I mean?
Some
Like
people lose their mind.
some people, like if you again, if you really come from nothing, talk about nothing,
You
talk
got
about
some
living
money.
on somebody else's floor, talk about you don't have clothes, you wear the same stuff week
Hood
after
rich
week
shit.
after week. That's gonna excite you. You know what I'm saying? You have all this money in your bank account that you don't even know like what to do with it. You can get whatever you want. Like
I think age has something to do with it too as well. Because I was never poor, but for me selling cars, like I mean, from making minimum wage to now making, you know what I'm saying, like having that bag. So I went crazy a little bit, but I didn't do nothing outlandish and wild. I just misused my money, put it like that. So I think age has a lot to do with it. I came into some money like too soon. You feel me?
But there's a difference between money management and just complete craziness.
and I don't think as adolescents we were ever taught that. We're not taught that in high school. Like
We
if
weren't.
you ever
Yeah,
come
you never
into
teach
some
you.
money, this is what
We
you
never
do.
was
Like
taught money management.
you're
in
never
high
taught
school,
like how to
ever.
like
Never.
save your money,
Ever.
put your money in, invest it. If you know what
They
I'm saying,
need
if you
to
come
teach
into
you.
Never
something,
taught how to
you're
play the
never
stock
taught like
market,
that.
nothing.
Like how to really save and like have someone come in and help you with your money. Like it's like, oh, I have all this money, I know what to do. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? We say all these things until you're put in that position and have all that, and then you spend it all and you're fucking bankrupt.
And in
you're
terms
just
of
like,
athletes,
dang.
and a lot of people who come up with money real fast, by the time their career is over, a lot of them end up going broke.
Facts.
And it's also just from trying to, it's most of the time just trying to impress people.
Just
It's
trying
like,
to
oh,
live
I
a
have all this
lifestyle.
money, like, I'm trying to live like this, I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to get this girl, I'm trying to get that girl, I'm trying to get this guy, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like,
You're doing it bad.
that's
A
cool,
lot of
they
times-
doing it that way, so I'm gonna do it that way too. Like,
When you make stuff like, and say for example, you have a come up that's based off of an influx. For example, you're a rapper or you're an athlete or you're something, and you go spend you spend major money on like major purchases. When you stop playing basketball, that money is gone unless you got endorsement. when you stop making music, that money is gone unless you got endorsements. And so it's like you've spent money, say for example, on $1 million+ house, $1 million cars. You don't pay attention to the fact you got to pay insurance, you got to pay taxes on them houses, you got to pay insurance for the cars, and then that's still a high price because you bought high ticket items, and the insurance and the taxes is based off of that. So if you're not making that money no more, you're going to lose all of it. So it's like, I just think that I think they started doing it with athletes and stuff that. They started teaching them how to manage their money.
Yeah, the NFL, they got like something, don't you know, they got the little NFL combines and like stuff like that in the summertime. So for the rookies, they do got a program that they let them sit through a weekend when they first start their first weekend, where they teach them how to manage their money, how to how to handle it, because like you got this big, you just been signed to a football team, so they try to teach you how to manage your money, how to save it for later, don't always spend it, invest it in stuff and stuff like that. So they do teach you, but it's whether you're going to use that information.
Utilize it or not.
Yeah, you're going to use the information that you just was taught.
I just learned the hard way to invest the money that you get. So that's why I started the company. I was like, the next time I get some money, I'm going to just start a company.
Even if you don't invest it, save it until you know that it's something that you want to invest in. That way you got the money there. You ain't got to go try to scramble up for it. I feel like, from what I was told, the rule of thumb is whatever your income is, you're supposed to save 20%. At least 20%. And then whatever else is what you do with it is what you do with it. And then that'll at least give you a decent savings. Whereas over time, if in case of something, an emergency, you got something to fall back on.
But doing that and saying that are two different things, because that's hard.
Some people.
When you have, you bills to pay, you have things to do. It's just like, I'm saying, that $20, $5, $100 that I was gonna put into savings is like I can use that now today.
And it's hard when you're used to a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
True.
You gotta get somebody at the right time. Then you need to teach them at the right time, because if you get to somebody when they already in their ways and their habits, it's gonna be hard to get somebody to change.
Especially if they already got money, because they like, man, I'm spending this money for forever. I ain't worried
Same
about
thing with college. And he was like, go back to college.
That's what happened with Iverson.
Too much money to go back to college.
Iverson was getting a bunch of money, and his man's. I think he gave his man control of his money or whatever, and. By the time Iverson, he would basically give Iverson an allowance. I think it was like, yo, you're not spending this. I'm gonna hold on to this. And now Iverson's still living good because his man could, he actually took care of him for his money. Now that's also having a good friend. Yeah. Because some people could.
Somebody could trust to do that.
I thought that was that Reebok did that for him.
That Reebok did it, but it was because of his friend.
Oh, really?
Pretty much, yeah.
I thought it was because. I don't know. I thought the guy from Reebok just said, okay.
Well, no, I think those were two different things. I think Reebok had to deal with him when he did something like that. And his friend was also managing his money. And he basically was making him hold on to a lot of it until, now I think he had to turn like 30-something, maybe 40-something before he was going to give him that money or whatever, something like that.
And Reebok said when he turned a certain age, that he gonna get the rest of his bread because Reebok gave him half when he was a young boy. Yeah.
But, what are we talking about? Rappers and athletes. Speaking of rappers and music, Kendrick Lamar dropped his album. Was it last week?
That was 2 weeks ago now.
I was actually able to listen all the way through it, and he did drop another. He dropped another new video for his record DNA, and I thought it was dope. I like how they had Don Cheadle in there, and he was actually able to do the whole thing. Like, cause I'm like, how long did he have to practice that? Because I still don't know the words, so they probably was working on that for a minute. Because Don Cheadle, he did
do a good job at reenacting that.
Yeah, it was cool. Did you get to check out the video?
I didn't check it out.
Yeah, I'm really bad at watching music videos.
I saw it on. It was like on the front page of YouTube. Yeah. So when I just opened the app, I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out because I had heard the song already. I like the song, so I'm like, let me see what this video is about.
It was a real weird video though, because I don't know what message he was trying to get across in this video. Because the last video I knew it was about being natural, women with natural hair, being natural or whatever.
But see, the crazy thing is that was only one segment of that song though. The rest of the song had nothing to do with none
But the
of
whole video was geared to that one segment. For DNA, I think he was just trying to show, the persona of a black person, because he was trying to say he is pure black, this is me being a black man, but I don't see how I don't know how the video translate that though. Like
Kendrick's videos are starting to remind me of Missy's old videos. They like trippy, and it's just like they have a point, but you got to actually analyze it to understand what it's about. Like old Missy videos and old Busta Rhymes videos, where it's like a lot going on, but you can focus in on one thing and actually pull something away from it. But the album was definitely it's my favorite. I don't know. Me personally, I think as of right now, Kendrick Lamar, as far as like current rappers, I think he's number one in terms of pure hip hop.
Really
well, you got other artists
being number one.
You got J. Cole, you got Wale, you got Big Sean.
He just put new stuff out too. J. Cole just put new stuff out. And that
for real? I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I say Young Dog.
I don't think that's the same category.
Right, I was like, oh man.
But him and Yo Gotti had beef and shit.
His lyrics to me, I think he's very lyrical because from the 100 shots, you feel me, the whole Bulletproof mixtape album rather. For him to talk about that whole situation, track from track from track from track, and put his own spin on it too as well, and talk about other things he went through. I don't know. I think he's lyrical to me. I
just feel like it's two different categories. Personally, I feel like you got rap, then you got trap rap, then you got
mumble
pop rap, which is mumble rap. Right, then you got hip hop, which is the original, like, you know what I mean, like that type of stuff where it's like you don't need to have, you know, a super hard beat for the song to be hard because the lyrics is cool. Yeah. But if the beat is hard too, then that's just an added bonus. But that's what I feel like hip hop is. Hip hop is something that somebody can just start freestyling to no beat, and it's actually still hard. And then you got, I feel like, trap rap, which is like 80% beat, 20% lyrics, and you got mumble pop rap, which is probably the same, like
mumble rap,
95% beat, 5% lyrics, and then you got rap, which is like maybe 50-50. So it's like that's the way I look at it. I mean, I don't even put Drake in actual hip hop.
Yeah,
he's a performer.
Drake is just like, I feel like when Drake came out, he was hip hop. He's like transcended hip hop almost to like this like angelic, like untouchable type. Like
he has a whole nother genre.
He wants to be an icon because it's more than just music. It's like fashion. Yeah, it's how he carries himself. It's everything. Like he's more like not so much music. And more like
just a brand, like he's
just like of who he is as a person.
Like he can sell his entire self.
Who else had a show with memes on it? I ain't never seen no rapper with memes. Drake had memes on his shit.
Drake is in a position now. He can do whatever he wants, and people are gonna like it. I didn't really care for his last album personally, but
shit weak.
It was
it was not the whole thing, but like there's
a couple songs in there
that I like.
I couldn't get with the whole UK thing, but I don't think that he was trying to appeal to my demographic. I think he was trying to appeal to his other fans that
the UK. I think he was appealing to the UK.
Right.
Because when I was listening to it, I was just like, I can't get with this.
Right.
I know that this is what they do over there.
Right. Which is cool with me. Like I'm not knocking it. It's just this album wasn't for me. But I can listen to all his older stuff and it's still hard.
His old stuff always knocks.
Yeah.
Forever.
But that's just how I feel. I feel like in terms of the actual like.
But that's just more on the thing. I feel like it's just like getting money. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to be the same person he was years ago because now
he's actually hungry.
He's making more money doing.
I think Drake always been hungry though.
Yeah,
I feel like he always.
I don't feel like he is so much anymore.
I feel like he always been. I feel like he always put himself in a position where he can excel from Degrassi all the way up.
That's like, true, but I feel like now he knows he's going to excel no matter what he does. So maybe I feel like his effort isn't there as much anymore. Like,
he don't need to. Like he don't need to really put any effort.
He don't need to. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he feel like I've done my work. Now I'm just going to live off of it. And I feel like
that's most really good rappers. Like that happens. Lil Wayne. That's my favorite rapper of all time. Like, I don't give a fuck what you say or what anybody says.
Lil Wayne at a point where he did put some effort in now.
Yeah, because I feel like he kind of tailed off.
Yeah, but he still doesn't give a fuck. Like it's Lil Wayne. He's got money. He can do whatever he wants to fucking do.
Wayne is an icon for what he's done.
After mixtape, he's the only person that consistently has music out, like from back in the day, or like putting music out. Like that's his thing.
But it's not always
and
good.
Now he's just like
the music that he comes out
now
with
it's not as good, but it's because he doesn't care. He has the money.
He paid his dues.
He's doing drugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's living his life, and it's just like I'm gonna put this out. People will still listen to it. Maybe not everybody. Maybe people will have mixed views about it, but like people are still gonna listen to it because it's Lil Wayne.
I'll at least try to.
So it's it's Lil Wayne. So it's regardless. Like you're gonna listen to that shit. Like
it just, I don't know. Me personally, I'm sad that it's not what it used to be.
Very sad
because it's like
very
Wayne
sad because that hunger
be,
that you hear in his voice back in the day, you don't hear that now. You
hear
like
now he just rapping.
Yeah. If they owe me some M's, I'll do the same thing.
I'll
I'll not be hungry too for real.
Wayne is going to fall into that. I feel like that Bun B category where it's like you're gonna listen to it and you're gonna respect it because of wait, hold up, Bun B is a legend. I'm not trying to but people
I know what you mean. Like,
people gonna put Wayne on their records because they know Wayne got the respect from what he used to be, not necessarily because it's about to be hard now. So it's like it's that Bun B effect. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, this is just a big name. This is a respected name. Let's go with it.
But he still need his bread too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's still
dealing with that stuff with Birdman and all that stuff. He's still trying to.
I feel like that played a big toll. Somebody owe me that bread.
Yeah, Birdman don't pay nobody though. Like it's like, why would you even sign to him?
I really enjoyed that Ross disc. Like that's my favorite track on the whole album, just because it spoke to, you know what I mean, a lot of stuff that nobody else is really speaking on in detail. So
Ross slipped up though. Birdman not to be played. In Baton Rouge, in Louisiana, oh my God.
But I highly doubt Ross would even be out there.
Yeah,
because Birdman lived in Miami, which is Ross's area.
He got the respect though, like
allegedly.
A 5-star general. You know what I mean? He a general. He really caught shots.
Because I was hearing some stuff about him when he got that tattoo put on his head, and he had his his album. He changed the name of his album because it was 5-star something. And then
it was 5-star something.
And then he changed it to 5-star Stunner because I heard he was getting a lot of like backlash.
When was this?
This is a long time ago.
This is when Wayne was still Wayne. This was that era. So Wayne was basically, he made that whole album. But so that's just how I feel. Getting back to Kendrick, I just feel like
I know. Get back to Kendrick. We don't want to Drake.
They were underrated.
Wayne.
Kendrick, I feel like, but Kendrick's album, it broke records though. His single broke records too. It was number 2, I think, on the top 100.
But I still feel like he underrated.
Yeah.
I talk to some people, I'll be like, yo, did you hear Kendrick album? Nah. Like what? How? Like you got Apple Music?
I didn't really listen to it. Like I've listened to like certain songs,
you can listen to
like,
it through all the way through.
I
only had to skip one song. I could listen to it. I just didn't feel like hearing it at that time.
Yeah.
From the intro, that shit creeped me out. I ain't gonna lie.
But I like that though. I feel like that's an artistic.
He had better albums though. Like I feel
like
Good Kid, this isn't his best album. I don't think this is his best album.
It's not, but it's still I feel like
it's
great
still
album.
A good album, but it's not out of his best. Like I feel like I can listen to his other albums more than this one still.
Which one?
Not Untitled. Untitled is probably like the last one out of my list for real to listen to.
But that wasn't even supposed to be a real thing though.
Yeah, like I feel like that's
I don't even really count that one for real.
Out of his first, like his debut album, I feel like that's always going to be my top choice.
Which one was that? That was Good Kid, Mad City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was.
That's always going to be his best album for me.
Alright.
But like.
To Pimp a Butterfly was good too, though.
Yeah, it was.
That was cool.
I think that would be second, honestly. And then I feel like the album that came out now would be his third album, to me.
I can go with that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
But it's still good. It's just that his other albums, he didn't outdid himself for real. He outdid himself. So now it's hard for him to top his albums now.
Is he still beefing with Big Sean?
They keep throwing shots at each other.
I like Big Sean.
Beefing with a couple of people.
Like they keep shots.
Well, ever since he made that Control verse, everybody was kind of uneasy with Kendrick, which I thought was epic too.
But all Kendrick did was just throw people's names out.
Yeah, all he did was use people's names just to say like. It didn't necessarily mean like these people are bad or anything. He was just like, I'm trying to be better than them. So it's like, who isn't? Like, he just said what everybody's thinking. But I don't know. I mean,
that's what made that verse so hot is the fact that he said it and nobody else said anything.
Right, nobody else usually says
names. Says names, but like,
subliminals.
Yeah, like that's the only thing that made that verse real hard because he dropped names. But like that's it. Like for Big Sean, like his whole beef with Big Sean right now is supposed to be because I don't know, like I don't know what it is really. Like, cause I like Big Sean.
I like Big Sean too.
I like Big Sean. Like
I didn't like him at first. His voice was annoying to me, but
yeah, he did.
I feel like he's always had like a different kind of approach. To like, to the things that he does, and I feel like he's real.
Yeah, I feel like Big Sean really does help me envision what he's talking about. The way he talks about it, I really can see what he's saying. As far as Kendrick, he just be like, I gotta really dig deep. I gotta look between the lines.
Yeah, it's like an English.
Yeah, you know, like I gotta read between the lines to understand what he's saying. With Big Sean, it's just there. You know.
I like that about Kendrick though, because sometimes I feel like hip hop needs to have layers to it. Like the songs, they do need to have layers. It is something to be. It's almost like an essay, but it's melodic. So it's like, you know, the same way you would analyze a paper. I think, you know, some records and some artists should be able to have that capability. I mean, I personally can't. I can listen to the trap rap, the mumble rap if I'm out and I'm at a party and I'm drunk. But you will never catch me listening to that
just in your headphones.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like,
I
certain artists are cool.
That's what I'm saying. I really love Future though. Like I can. That's what I'm saying. I love Future. I don't know what it is about him that I like so much.
I don't even really ascribe Future to the mumble rap anymore.
He's like I consider him kind of basically trap rap, basically.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between. He's like one of those floating artists. But
it was like I can understand him more than these other mumble rappers. Like Designer, I really can't understand Designer.
He's a clown. He's a goof.
I can't understand Designer. I can't understand 21 Savage sometimes or what
21 cool.
I can't get none.
I consider him trap rap.
Yeah.
21.
It's just, I don't know.
Kodak Black, I'm starting. He kind of growing on me a little bit.
I like one song.
All those people is more of like beats and just like they're cool and people
like their
people are
personality
following
is not necessarily
them
their
more
talent.
so than their music. Like I fuck with their music, but like it's cool because the beats are hard and like there's here and there's like things you could tweet about. Like it's cool, like whatever. But like as far as like actual being an artist. None of these new people have like what it takes at all.
Well,
nothing at all.
I think a little differently because I grew up in Atlanta too, so I kind of know the stuff 21 Savage rap about and everything. And he actually is actual factual. So when I listen to it, I'm like, okay, I can relate to some of this stuff, and he's actually talking about the stuff he really did.
Right.
But it's like still the same type of stuff. Like even if you live through that, like okay, we get it. Like you're gangbanging, you're fucking bitches, you're fucking selling dope, like you're fucking shooting niggas. You're like okay, we get it.
Most of the rappers don't.
But it's just like, oh, I know. But even if
it.
you do it, it's just like I get it, we get it. But like, what else can you bring to the table as an artist that shows that you're different from other people? Even if you don't do it, even if you do it, whatever. Like it's still the same thing.
Artists out there rapping about the same
type of thing, the same type of beat on the same type of rapping style. Like I really fuck with like Big Crit and slow southern like Houston type slow music. Like that's my type of shit. Like that's just cool. Like
yeah, I'm always like last to catch up on new artists because I be real reluctant to listen to new artists because I'm just like okay.
I've been trying to listen to the Kodak Black because like right now he's like real like popular whatever. I've been trying to listen to him, but I don't know what the hype is with him for real.
He got bars.
He do like, but it's if you understand him. That's if you understand his bars for real. Because sometimes you really can't. You gotta really be listening to catch it for real. Like you just like what. And I remember it was like this whole phase where they was going like Lil Wayne versus Kodak Black. Like, have you heard that? Oh my goodness! Like,
he was saying he wanted to beat Lil Wayne.
Yeah, like when he was saying he would
stop that conversation.
How you gonna get some goat? That's like
that's just. I feel like that's my issue with a lot of the newer rappers. I feel like they don't respect what what brought them, what even gives them an opportunity to be where they are, because it's like. Yo, you can't sit there and say, like, who was it, Yachty? He was talking about Tupac and was like, oh, he, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, or Young Thug saying something. He was just, he had made a comment about something about Lil Wayne going in the studio and, like, how he write his raps before he rap them or whatever, like, and, or how long it take him to write a rap. Like, Young Thug was just saying, like, I just go in the studio and I just say stuff. Like, I don't understand why you guys do all of this.
It's a craft to it, and you can't disrespect, the pioneer, the people who came before you's way of doing things. Just because your craft isn't as good, you don't need to take as much time, you don't need to put as much thought into it because you know that people are going to listen to it anyway. That doesn't make it any less artistic. I mean, that doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, just because you don't have to put as much effort doesn't mean that the people who put more effort into it are bad or whatever it is that they try to make it sound like. But, I don't know. That's just crazy. I was going back to thinking about what we was talking about earlier with the athletes and all that other stuff and how to save money and all that other stuff. Like basically how to be like a full-fledged adult. So it's just like, and we were saying nobody ever really taught us how to do that. So it's just like I'm trying to think like what is the actual definition of being an adult?
There isn't none. Like I feel like it's trial and error. Yeah. Honestly, it's trial and error. Like, because there's so many different types of adults here. It shouldn't even be a definition for a pure adult. You got those adults that are like, that's cool with everybody, that's be your friend. Because I done had a couple of like parents that I done been cool with and stuff like that. And they let you do whatever. But then you got those real strict adults or they real, I don't know, careful with their money and careful with everything that they do or whatever. It got to be a certain type of way that they do certain things. But
I think an adult is considered somebody who provides for their family.
Well, what if you don't have a family?
Right.
Like, I say you're not an adult for real.
So, like, you think somebody that, like, decides never to have children or never to get married isn't an adult?
I wouldn't say that, but I would say that they're less of an adult.
Oh, you think it's levels to adult?
Yeah, I think it's levels to this shit. The new age joint.
I don't know, because I feel like the new millennium or whatever, we're not that, well, some of us are, but like a lot of, like the millennial era or whatever, a lot of them aren't really pressed to have children or get married or do any of that type of, traditional stuff. So it's like, does that mean that the level of adulthood is declining, or does that mean, you think so?
I definitely, because you got some people having kids and they can't even provide for their kids, but they consider themselves an adult because, I'm taking pictures with my kid. Yeah. Nah, you're not an adult. That don't mean nothing. Your kid hungry.
Right.
You hungry.
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Like, I'm just waiting till the time is right. Like, right now, I feel like I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to have a family. I'm not ready for all of that. Like, I'm not ready.
I feel like the stigma is people feel like, okay, once you have your own house and your own car and you're paying bills and you basically going to work every day and making a living for yourself, that considers you a quote-unquote adult. But it's like, I don't feel like you become an adult based off of the more responsibilities that you decide to take on for yourself. Sometimes even unnecessarily so. Like, I know people that will move out, they can't really afford to live on their own. They move out, they get themselves a lease, and then they can't afford the lease. And then next thing you know, once the lease is up, they gotta go back and move out. So it's like, I think that's definitely a good experience to have, to be able to say, okay, I know how it feels now that I'm out here on my own. But some people, when they do that, they really be acting like they like above other people. They're like, oh yeah, I got my own spot, my own car, my own this, my own that. Y'all ain't doing nothing with y'all lives, basically. And then a year later, they back at their people's house because they don't want to renew their lease because they can't afford it.
Do that. They try to put you down for what they're doing and stuff like that. Like, no. It don't mean nothing. Like,
it could all be taken away just like that.
Just like that.
I think job security definitely consider somebody an adult. Like, if your job security, you don't gotta worry about your job. I consider you an adult because you good. Like, you don't gotta worry about a nigga firing. You don't gotta worry about your bread ever being short. You good.
I agree.
You're talking about adulting.
Oh.
I agree though. Like, I feel like but I don't know, because something could always happen at your job though. Like, you could do something crazy and you get fired. So what is it to say at that point? If you get fired,
but that doesn't knock you down to not being an adult because something tragic happened and you lost your job.
So what's your definition of an adult? Like, what makes you an adult?
I don't feel like money makes you an adult, and I feel like people think that
I don't want to take it.
Just because you have a lot of money and you can pay all your bills, that makes you an adult. That doesn't make you an adult. Making good decisions, not making rash decisions, makes you an adult. turning things down that you wouldn't normally turn down as an adolescent makes you an adult. Deciding to not put yourself in a situation where something could possibly happen makes you an adult. I don't feel like money doesn't make you an adult. You can have a lot of money and not be an adult and be stupid about it.
So making good decisions, you consider being an adult?
Thought process like more than a living situation.
Making good decisions and just having good morals and just having your shit together. Just knowing what it is that you want, going for it, and setting the money aside to do what you want, and setting the time aside to do what you want, and making time for yourself and your friends and your family, and just really having like a good like background and like head on your shoulders makes you an adult, in my opinion.
I also feel like having children and having to take care of children does not make you an adult.
No, it don't make you an adult.
Because there's plenty of people who have children and don't do well at taking care of their children, and it's plenty. And I personally, I'm not trying to have no child until I know I got everything paved, so that way it can be the easiest transition into that lifestyle as it can possibly be. Like, I want to make sure that I have somewhere for that child to stay comfortably and safe. I want to make sure I have money set aside for whatever, because children do all types of stuff to make you have to spend money on the fly, fall and bust their head or something, because you got to rush them to the doctor. So I want to make sure I got all of that groundwork laid before I even try to think about having a child. And it's just like,
people don't think that way anymore.
Some people, like the people that already have kids, what they're gonna tell you is that you can never be prepared for that.
Yes.
That's what they're gonna tell you.
You can
be
better prepared.
You can be fully prepared. You can't be fully prepared, but you can be better prepared.
And you can pretty much be prepared. Like, you're in a healthy, stable relationship with someone that you're married to, which is like an uncommon, like that's an unheard of thing now. And fucking 2017, it's like you don't even have to be married. People don't even care about that. They're like, I don't care. Like, as long as y'all are together, as long as y'all are living together, like, oh, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. But like, bringing a kid into the world, you should be into a union. Like, you should have a union going on before you decide to like bring kids into the world. Because anything can happen at any point in time. Yes, in a union, anything can happen at any point in time. But you've said that this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So it's like, have kids and do what you're supposed to do. Like, doing that kind of thing out of wedlock, again, is popular. It's like the cool thing to do. But like, in my opinion, it's just like, that's not okay. Because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, like, where are you and the person that you had a kid with going to be? Probably not together.
Right.
Usually that type of thing, you know what I'm saying? It's lust. And it's like, I really, 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 really like this person. I really, really like this person's sex. I really, really like this person's that and this and that. I don't really like this person. But we're here. We're comfortable. I'm here with it. I'm fucking showing. What are we going to do? All the other bitches are throwing their pictures up. Why aren't we throwing ours up? Like, you know what I mean? And it's more of like a pressure thing for people.
I don't know. Me personally, I don't put a lot of weight on marriage. Because, again...
No, I don't.
I just feel like whether you're married to somebody or not, the circumstances doesn't change. It all depends on how you feel about that person. Like, I can feel the same way about somebody I'm married to versus somebody I'm not. The only difference between marriage is you literally have a business contract. Like, this is how it's gonna happen. For real, you think if you got married to somebody, it would change how you feel about the person?
I think, well, put like this, because with marriage it comes a lot along with it. With marriage, you gotta spend that bread on the ring. So you spend that bread on the ring, you ain't gonna be acting any kind of way. You spend that type money on the ring.
See, I don't know, because you're gonna spend money regardless, and that stuff.
I'm kind of where he at with his. I'm kind of where he at, cause nobody. So to me, I want to get married because ain't nobody getting married. Like, it's like nobody looks at the value of marriage no more. Like, it's like it just don't matter no more. But to me, it do matter because as nobody that wants to take that commitment no more.
But it matters because that's supposed to fucking happen. It's not supposed to be kids out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that's the cool thing to do right now, but that's not how life is supposed to work. Life is not supposed to work like you meet someone within a month and you have a baby.
It makes it seem like it's an accident. Like it really do make it seem like it's an accident. And you don't want your child to be growing up thinking that they were an accident.
That's
honestly.
awful.
Like, that's
I grew up in a split parent home.
Like,
I would tell y'all right now, like, it's not like I would have rather had both my parents together in a one period setting, and that probably would have made me be a different person, made me be maybe a better person. And it's like, if you think about that, and you think about people out here nowadays who are just really young and just don't even know themselves. You're having a kid, you don't even know yourself. You don't know how to take care of your own self. You out here having another child that you have to take care of and give them self-esteem, give them love, give them everything that you don't even know how to give to yourself.
Right, because
that's
we want to go out and
how do you
go
do
to
that?
Miami.
Yeah,
it's not about you no more. It's not
and
about
but
you.
People don't see that.
Yeah,
people
it's not about when
that.
you think about marriage. It's not about you. It's about you. It's about your family. At that point, it's
and
about,
nowadays it's like females are doing that because they want to trap their nigga. They don't want him going nowhere. They don't want him looking.
They're
at
making it
else.
about them.
So, I'm about to have this baby because he's about to stay with me forever now. He can't be with no one else
Then
now because I had a baby, and it
it.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Keep it moving.
Yeah,
right. That's why I say like it doesn't really matter what your situation is, what it's called, what you have in between you. It depends on how that person feels about that person, whether they're married, whether they're not married, whether they have a child or they don't. It all depends on how the guy feels about the girl.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like,
but it should be a goal that you're working towards, and I feel like that's not a goal that most people are working towards. They're just working towards moving in together, paying bills together, and having.
Because if you're gonna have a family together, y'all need to think like family wise.
Yes, having a family and just moving in and being together are two totally separate entities.
It's cool to move in together, but if I look at it like this, if y'all really gonna move in together, have a plan. Like, all right, either y'all gonna get engaged in the future at a certain date, or y'all thinking about or planning. Just don't just move in and shag.
We're all young. We're all so you can move out on your fucking own.
Yeah,
but I do feel like
move out with a friend.
Move
out. You know what I'm saying? Move out with a roommate. Find somebody to move in with you. Like you don't necessarily have to move out and always just move in with a significant other because you want that comfortability. You want to be with them all the time. You want to be with them 24/7. Like
I did feel like if all of those things are in place, say for example, you with somebody, you got a kid, y'all living together, you might as well just go ahead and get married. Like at that point, you just
you're already living together. You're gonna be paying the bills together, so you might as well just get the last name so y'all can work on paying the rest of the bills.
Right.
Together.
That's the thing. It's like that's what I feel like most people do. We might as well. I don't want to might as well do shit
it can't
with
be
nobody.
like that. I don't think it should be thought like that. Yeah.
Like I love you and this is what I want for the rest of my. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. We might as well. We already here. We might as well have a kid. We already here. We
but
might
when you
as well
think of it that way, it's more
like,
subjective. The end, like because you only thinking of it as we might as well. It's
but
convenient
like
at
that,
the time.
You don't really rock with that person anyway. You might as well.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
I want you gotta be have that mindset.
What you want to do and it's not even like in the now. Like people are always thinking about in the now. Like what the fuck is your mind, your process going like 30 years from now, 20 years from now? A marriage is forever. Supposed to be.
But my thing is
forever.
My thing is you wouldn't even be in a lot of those situations unless you wanted to. Like you wouldn't
just
be living with somebody.
Y'all seen that shit about Carmelo Anthony and
but people are in that situation.
Right, but that's
Carmelo Anthony. That's what's going on this week.
That's horrible. Yeah. It's terrible.
I stopped following
and things like that happen all the time, 24/7, and it's just like you have a kid. This is not no more of just you and Lala. Like you have a son.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what you're teaching your son. Like it's okay to go out here and get into a marriage and then cheat on your wife.
But Lala needs to conceive for real. You know how.
She the one that's pursuing the divorce so adamantly though. Like
that's great and it's good.
He's willing to work it out with her.
Of course.
Or whatever. But
niggas always do that shit, and then he's like, willing to work it out. I'm willing to reconcile with you because I didn't mean it.
She honest. She just like, nah, I don't want to. She's just like, sometimes you outgrow people, and she at this point where she feel like she outgrowed him.
Remember when they was playing the Celtics or something like that, and KG had told Melo, he was like, yeah, Lala smell like Honey Nut Cheerios or something like that. So I'm not saying that she's a saint too, you feel me?
Yeah.
But everybody has their wrongs. But if you in a whole marriage
with a child,
with a child,
I feel like y'all owe it to each other to at least work it out.
Yeah,
and things like that. I always just feel like I probably just would never. Like you have too much clout, you have too much money, you have too much. You can kind of go and do whatever you want to do, and it's just like I would never want to put myself in that situation because a nigga is gonna be a nigga always. Regardless of the
female
kid.
Will be a female.
I mean,
always,
yes. So, but it's just like you just never know, and it's just like just to put yourself in such a situation and just think like you're the only one when there's like billions of females. He can get any female he wants ever. You know what I'm saying? And to put yourself in a situation where it's like, okay, they've been together since his whole career, but that doesn't mean anything. Right. Niggas don't look at that nowadays. Niggas is not like, damn, she been down for me. Like, you good, shorty. Like, I'm good on you. Like, you're just a one night, whatever. I don't want to risk that. Niggas is not thinking
They don't
like
think
that.
like that.
Niggas is thinking like, okay, like, we could probably do this real quick. She not going to find
But she put
out.
her foot down. Like, what she's doing now is putting her foot down and letting her know that she would not accept no nigga treating her that way. Like,
that's beautiful.
She just won't, like, I won't allow you to treat me that way. Like, I've been here for you. I've been riding for you for this long. Like, I've been here, and you still went on.
And I feel like that's just the ultimate disrespect for somebody to carry your kid for 9 months, back pains, breast pain, or whatever. She's raising your kid while you're out here playing basketball.
Think about Melo though. When KG had said that shit to his face, like they was in an actual game. That shit was on national TV. Like Melo followed Joe to the bus and everything. Like he wanted his.
But Lala has pure proof that Carmelo Anthony cheated. He don't. So it's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, she looks good. Whoa. She looks good. So it's just like
I think that what Carmelo did got publicized.
Yeah,
and that's why everybody has proof of what Carmelo did. But he might have proof of something that she.
I mean, either way, it's wrong.
Either way, it's wrong. But what I'm saying,
from a woman, from a man, whatever. If you're in a union with somebody and you have a kid, it's wrong.
But what I'm saying is, in the eyes of the public, Lala has the benefit of the doubt because we don't have proof of whatever. We don't have proof of whatever she did.
I feel like she's wrong. Like that's wrong.
So that could have just been a toxic situation in their own house to begin with.
But that's what I feel like when it comes to like when you're such a big celebrity like that. It's just like how do you balance that? How do you balance like wanting, how do you balance like wanting to be with somebody that's
going to a therapist and to talk to a therapist about your problems.
That's the moral of the story. Talk to a therapist.
Ultimate clout. We don't have that right now. We don't know what that feels like, and it's just like you get in position. You can have any bitch you want. Yes, it's a bitch that's been down for you. You like her. She's pretty. Whatever. That does not negate when you go out with your fucking niggas and you in the fucking club and listen. Right now you can go out with your niggas and that doesn't. You're not gonna get every bitch in the club that you want.
Especially if you got money like Melo.
What? That's what I'm saying. He can go out to any club he wants. You know, he doesn't even have to probably throw money, and bitches just on him because of off the simple fact of who he is. And you mean to tell me that I'm gonna turn that down because I have a wife? No.
Yeah. No. That's how every man that doesn't think that.
Listen to me, it's a lot. And again, like I see.
Because you got average people who not even like that. They be doing they dirt. We don't even got no clout like that. So it's like imagine if like wherever you went, every female that you ran and crossed was just throwing it.
That's why I said it's something deeper. Because Melo been in the league all these years. You know he was rocking with Lala. Lala was rocking with him. It was,
and he's probably been doing his dirt secretly all these fucking years.
Before this incident occurred, it was a couple little instances of Lala. She went to the movies with the rapper Mano or whatever like that. Little shit like that.
And that's what I'm saying. It's her too because that's what I'm saying. How do you fucking just rein that in? It's just like you go from like normal clout to like
you can't really
big clout, and it's like, you know, people hitting your DMs on a normal fucking basis, and it's like rappers, ballers, like whatever you want, whatever Lala wants. She's a beautiful woman, like she's successful, she's smart. Whatever that girl wants, I'm trying to tell you, she could get. Whatever Carmelo Anthony wants, he can get.
I think that marriage went downhill when she whipped the titty out in Power. That's what it was. That's what it was. She whipped the titty out in Power and everything went downhill.
I know.
Mind you, that was my favorite episode. But
I've been my crush since MTV type
shit. She's a beautiful
I think that's what spiraled everything downhill.
Like she the baddest. Real right.
And that's the thing. It's just like, how do you even determine that? Like, you marry somebody that looks like that, and you still are like, I need more. I want more. This bitch, she may not look like whatever, but she's still willing to throw it. So
because just like you said the last time, you might have one person that doesn't fulfill every need that you have that you want, and then Lala looks good, but we don't know Lala's personality. Right. We don't. She might not never clean the kitchen. She might be messy. She might be junky. I mean, Carmelo might be like, all right, I want me a neat chick, and he just slipped up and got a
that's my thing. It's just like, when do you say like, this is the girl that I really want, and like that is it. Like, how do you? And it's just like, until you really know that, why are you jumping into a marriage?
It's a leap of faith. When you choosing to marry somebody, it's a leap of faith for real. You just taking that faith that you willing to trust that person no matter what. Like, you willing to blind.
I feel like you should.
Let's get a closing shot going while we finish this up. I'm going to go ahead and get a closing shot up.
You going in blind, but my shower already pulled.
Oh.
I was like,
But my thing is, I feel like when you get married to somebody, and marriages are supposed to, like, and, you know, the average person might get married in between maybe like 25, 30. People grow older. They change. They evolve. Like, if you're not changing when you get older, then what are you doing? And the person that you grow and you evolve into might be someone that the person that you married don't rock with. So it's like, I feel that's why I feel like marriage is so obscure, because it's like you say you're taking a leap of faith, but you don't know where that's going to land you. So it's like,
because I believe in you outgrowing people too.
Yeah,
I believe in outgrowing people. Because you should be married with somebody for a long time, and then it's just something that happened in your life that just be like.
But if you're married and you outgrown, it's your duty. Like, I look at it like this: if I was married and I was outgrowing my wife, she gonna grow with me, type shit. Vice versa. If
You
she
can't
grown,
force
but you
someone
can't.
to grow,
Yeah, that's what I'm
though.
saying. What if she changed into somebody that that you?
You can't force somebody to
that's why I
grow.
feel everybody does. I don't feel like everyone on this earth is destined for just one person.
Ideally.
I feel like ideally, yes, we're supposed to get, because in the Bible, like, this is what's going on. But it's like, what you really think about in real life, like, people aren't just out here cheating just to fucking cheat. Like, this is like an epidemic. This is something that's going on. Like, and this is because your needs are not being met by one person. Not one person in this world can have every single. I just don't believe that one single solitary person has every single thing that you need spiritually, mentally, physically,
for that
emotionally.
period of time. I think they could.
I don't feel like one person has all of that for you. I feel like
a period of time, yeah. You could be living in a period of time where y'all in your 20s but you could outgrow it. That's why I said,
even if you're with somebody even if you're with someone, like, let's say you're with someone from like high school on until like now, there's still people that like are with someone like a main person, but they still have other people that they're like entertaining, that they're flirting with.
They just in that shit. I feel
like ideally it's supposed to be the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. You're supposed to, from what I pick up from, I guess, different moralistic things, is you're supposed to make that person basically fall in love with you every time you come across. But my thing is, I don't think that's the case. A lot of people just get complacent, and it's just like, okay, like I said, we've been dealing with each other for this long. I don't foresee you going anywhere. I don't foresee anything happening. We might as well just get married. That's why I said might as well, because it's like that's what a lot of people do. It's like, all right, we've been going together, we've been whatever for 5, 6, 7 years.
Other influences,
we
like
might as well,
friends is like,
when you
damn,
gonna get
y'all
married?
been together for a minute. Like, the fuck y'all do? Y'all about to have a kid? Y'all about to be together? Like, y'all about to move in? Like, damn,
a lot of times
like,
people
what's going
don't
on?
get
Where's the
married
ring at?
and make that commitment for themselves. It's always because of something else, and then usually that's why it always falls apart in the end, because it's like you didn't make a decision for yourself, you made it to please everybody else, or just because you just felt like, well, why not?
And people don't take time. I don't think people understand that relationships take time. Like,
yeah, it do.
Just because you meet somebody and you like them and y'all vibe does not mean that you guys are meant to be together. Like, and I feel like people are so lusty and
they be so ready to do stuff, like do marriage type things. Like, let's go on vacation. Let's do this together. Let's do this together. No, y'all really need to learn each other first before y'all even
really learn how to like be happy and hang out with yourself. Before, like, people be so bored with their own self that it's just like, I need somebody to be right here all the time. I like you so much, but you don't really like that person. You like their company. You like the fact that you're not alone.
You're not alone.
You like the fact that you're not by yourself. Like, if you're comfortable by yourself and in your own like skin and everything, like, it doesn't matter about who's there. You can go out. You can have a good time. Like, people are so like, I'm bored. I don't have nothing to do. Like,
a lot of people get into relationships to get somebody else to love them because they have a hard time loving themselves. You're never gonna work in a relationship if you don't love yourself first. And that's hard to do, and it takes time. People don't want to take the time to like get to know themselves, hang out with yourself, like go eat with your fucking self by yourself.
I go to eat with myself all the time. Like go to the movies by yourself. Just spend some time by yourself. Love yourself.
Sometimes there's things that you need to work out on your own before you bring someone else into that. You
find stuff out about yourself.
Right. If you can't, and if you don't, somebody else can't do it for you.
No.
Right. But on that note, let's go ahead and get these shots going. This has been the Busy Doing Nothing podcast. I am your host, Mr. Freeminds. To my left, I have...
Hi, BJ. Hi, B.
Little Bands.
Taylor, a.k.a. Doc.
Make sure y'all tune in next week. We can put you right into the middle of the conversation. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel.
Yes, please.
Definitely subscribe.
We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all so much.
Hottest shit in the DMV. We love it.
Let's go ahead and get these shots going.